Hey everyone, and thanks so much for joining us on UpNorthLive Unscripted at 6:30. I am Maya Engel, live in our digital studio, and happy first official day of summer. And we'll bring in our meteorologist Joe to talk a little more about the weather today, because for the past couple days, it certainly felt like summer. It was hot, it was humid. Today, though, a little different. We saw a little bit of relief today with some rain in certain areas and lower temperatures.
Yeah, it did, and it came in last night. It was at my son's baseball game, and it was started off warm, and then all of a sudden, the people in the crowd were like, "Wow, it really cooled down." And it kind of stayed that way today, more in the way of 70s out there, Maya. So it felt better, and I think that's good news for sleeping tonight because it was without AC. It's been something the last few nights, just how warm it's been. But we have that, and then I know everyone. It's the weekend. It's June. Looking forward to plans, but might be a little rainy coming up. So we'll talk more about that. We'll kind of show you that and what to expect for the weekend.
And we'll touch base with you again in a few minutes, Joe, after our first commercial. But right now, we are going to start off with our question of the day, as we typically do. So our question today, do you think Michigan's minimum wage should be raised to $15 an hour? 43% of people who have voted so far say yes, 57% say no. Be sure to scan that QR code on your screen to let us know what you think about this. So the reason why this was our question of the day today is because there was a rally and a visual demonstration held in Lansing at the state capitol. It brought together minimum wage workers from across the state. And just so you know, in case you didn't know this, the minimum wage currently in Michigan is $10.33 per hour. So there have been 610,000 Michiganders who signed a petition to put a $15 minimum wage on the November ballot. Now, this rally and demonstration today, it happened following a ruling from the Michigan Supreme Court that confirmed the measure for raising the minimum wage would not be on the November ballot. And a lot of the people who were at this rally today, they were urging lawmakers that this needs to happen in order for people to keep up with the rising cost of living, and that this should be a top priority for elected officials this election cycle. So this was posted on our Facebook page, and right now we have 321 comments. So clearly this is a topic that a lot of people feel passionate about, and we also want to know what you think about this. So as I mentioned, scan the QR code to vote, but then also if you want to leave a comment with your thoughts, I'm going to read some of our Facebook comments. Obviously, I don't have time to read all 321 of them, but if you want to see more, you can always go to our Facebook page. It's just Up North Live. So let's take a look at what some people are saying about this. Terry says it should be more than that. And that makes me wonder if a lot of people who have voted no, or maybe some people who have voted no, they just think that it should be more than 15 an hour. Kristen said, no, it should be 20. Carol said, what do I know? When I was younger, it was 50 cents an hour. Michael says, in order to have the same purchasing power as the 1990s, for example, minimum wage would need to be at least $23 an hour to keep up with inflation and the consumer price index. Jennifer says, there is absolutely no excuse for the federal government to keep the minimum wage at $7.25. If Congress gets a raise, the minimum wage should go. The federal minimum wage was set 15 years ago and no raise since. Some states have raised their minimum wage. Christina said, I don't think that small business owners could afford that. It would put them under. But large companies should have a wage increase for employees once they get into their 90 days, 120 day, 180 days, et cetera, until that employee has been with the company for like a year. Like it was back when I started working. There's too much turnover in employment right now as it is. No incentive to work or be loyal as a place of employment or to employees. Matt says a high minimum wage hurts kids wanting to enter the workforce. If you're 14 years old, you need an entry-level job so you can learn how to work. Minimum wage is not a living wage, it's an entry-level wage. You increase it and you reduce opportunity for young people. That is an interesting perspective. Did not really think about that. All right, let's see. Someone said, what is the reason for no? It hasn't changed in years. I mean, a 12-pack of soda costs more than an hour's worth of labor. Seems like something's got to give/change. Josh says no, but not for the same reasons as some. In fact, companies should pay their employees fairly without being told. The fight for $15 was a 2012 movement. It's not the same $15 given the 36.8% inflation since. It should be $20.52 by today's standard. I'd argue that to set the minimum is to give a corporation a sense of legal moral authority to pay lower than the market may otherwise call for. Okay, so those were just a few examples of what people are saying about this topic. Again, there are quite a few more comments on our Facebook post, so be sure to head to our page to see all those comments. And again, if you want to let us know what you think about the minimum wage being raised to $15 an hour, leave a comment and we will read those later on. But right now, we are going to turn things over to our top story of the day. So, one of our top stories of the day, I should say, vandal at a northern Michigan grocery store had a message to send about Pride Month, but his or her actions may have actually sparked a nationwide outpouring of support. So, this is a story that our Allie Baxter has been working on today, and she has the details.
I felt disheartened, really. Like someone was going to say, if you didn't want that to happen, you shouldn't have done it. But that doesn't feel right to me.
At the center of almost every celebration is something sweet. When we're in need of something quick to celebrate, we head to the local grocery store's bakery section, where cake decorators are on standby to help us in a pinch.
It doesn't feel like, oh man, I have to go to work every day. It feels like I get to go to work. I get to make these cakes. I love being able to interact in people's lives without being a part of their life.
This is the voice of the cake decorator at Boyne City's Family Fair. At her request, we're protecting her identity for this interview. She tells us as the store's bakery cake decorator, she loves to add
borders and some sprinkles or balloons or some flowers. I just want to see art on the cake, and I'm an artist, so I'm going to produce it.
Along with Happy Father's Day and graduation cakes, she also decorated cakes for Pride Month. These are the photos of her latest work she posted on social media.
I had already posted that cake, that Pride cake, and people responded positively to it. And they were like, oh, this is awesome.
Until one of her co-workers pointed out one of the cakes in the cooler had been smashed.
For those people to see that this thing they liked was disrespected, I thought it should be seen by more than just me. I don't want it to be a secret because they destroyed it and hid it and wanted it to be a secret.
Not wanting the action to stay secret, she posted the picture of the smashed cake on social media.
It just kind of hurt my heart.
Carrie Miller is a Boyne City resident. She doesn't know the decorator, but says when she saw the picture of the smashed cake, she knew she had to do something.
You know, something as simple as a cake was being destroyed. I just didn't feel that was right. I mean, people should be able to celebrate whatever they want to celebrate, whether it's a pride cake or birthday cake.
So Carrie posted she would sponsor the purchase of 10 pride cakes, and she tells us it's gone beyond that number.
I've had people as far away as Vermont want to sponsor cakes. It's turned a bad situation into hopefully something more positive.
It's an outpouring of support that our cake decorator tells us brought her to tears.
It doesn't have to be just about this one type that I'm catering to. It's everybody and anybody. Cake is cake. Cake is a celebration. That's why I created it, is so someone can have something to celebrate with.
And let's bring our reporter Allie into the conversation now. She is once again live from our content center. Allie, I'm just curious. So, like what was mentioned in your story, something good has come out of this story that at first was just seemed like such a negative thing. Are they looking into who potentially did that? Is there any sort of investigation into who smashed that cake?
That's something I don't have all the details on, and that was something that I did ask the cake decorator, kind of what are the certain steps that are being taken. And because Family Fair, we know that it is a chain. It's not like a super local to Northern Michigan thing. This is something that goes beyond just the Boyne City location where other higher ups have to get involved in something like this. But she did want me to say that her store, her management, her coworkers, they've been so supportive throughout all of this. And right now they're just kind of looking through some security footage to maybe get an idea of who or what did this and maybe for what reason, just to see kind of what they can see first. She did tell me, though, there isn't really an intent to get law enforcement involved.
So it's more of like an internal investigation within Family Fair, not with law enforcement.
Right.
Gotcha. So it sounds like the reason why this story spread so quickly was through social media.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Do you know like how many people it was able to reach?
I don't totally know how many people it was able to reach. I do know initially that the cake decorator Normally she posts photos of all the different cakes that she decorates, and that's kind of how this started. Is she had posted a picture of some of those Pride cakes. She said actually that this wasn't the first time she had made Pride Month cakes, that she had actually had some out on the shelf in the store before. Um, and kind of what started this was after seeing the reaction that somebody had in the store to one of these Pride cakes. She had said she had received so much positive reaction already to them even being there that she felt like people deserved to see the reaction that someone else had had. So I asked her that same question, why post this on social media for people to see? And potentially you are going to get some of that negative feedback. And she said she wanted the community to know kind of what had happened, because it seemed like someone had really subtly tried to do this to send like a secret message almost. And she said, I didn't want it to be like that, because I did this to help people feel represented. And I want people to know that you just can't get away with doing stuff like this.
And she wanted to keep her identity hidden, but she still wanted to spread the word and do this story with you to kind of share that same message, do you think?
Exactly. And that was something that I was asked earlier about as well. Why protect her identity? And it's coming purely from a safety motivation, something that I recall from some coverage we've done in the past with, different pride flags being taken, stuff like that. Those start maybe in some local Facebook groups, but they have the potential to be shared with maybe some more aggressive social media platforms out there. And we don't always know what people's intent is going to be when they see what coverage that we're doing. So this decision was made to protect her identity, just to make sure that she is still safe, that she can still go to work. She says, obviously, people in the community know who I am and they know that this has happened, but this is just an extra step that we're taking to make sure, at her request, that she does stay safe.
Mm-hmm. Anything else that you want people to know about your story that you didn't really get to touch on in your actual, what was it, a 2-minute story?
Oh my goodness. I felt like, both these interviews that we got to do today, and I have to say a major thank you to Daniel, who was able to speak with Carrie, who was the person who has decided to sponsor some of the cakes.
Mm-hmm.
Both of them just were really thoughtful and intentional with their answers today. They really see the big picture of things, and most of all, they really want people just to feel supported. They don't want an act like this to be taken and spread and that's all we see of it, because they want to change that message, that kind of secret message that somebody sent. They want to turn it around, and they want to make sure that the takeaway is something positive. Like we said, it's now kind of a nationwide outpouring of support, because Carrie said she's had people reach out to her from Vermont, from out of state. And I just, right before we hopped on here together, I went back and looked at Carrie's Facebook page, and she just has all these Facebook messages from people saying, hey, Carrie, I don't know you, but I would love to be able to put in an order for this cake. So the cake decorator herself, she's returning to work, I believe, later this week. And she has a lot of orders waiting for her, is what I'm told.
And this is one of the beautiful things about social media. And it's nice to see that good things can come, especially when there has been so much negative attention on just social media in general. It really can do a great thing for communities and for people.
Absolutely. And that was something we had talked about as well, like, kind of engaging with you, kind of open yourself up to getting some negative feedback. But the cake decorator and also Carrie herself had said most people have actually been really positive about this, like 80-20. And a lot of times the people who are a little bit more negative, they tend to be a little bit louder, but overall they do feel an overwhelming support from the community.
Well, Allie, thank you so much for joining us. We are going to take a short break here on UpNorthLive Unscripted. When we come back, we'll check in with our meteorologist, Joe Charlevoix. Stick around. We'll be right back. Welcome back, everyone. And as we mentioned earlier, today is the first official day of summer, but especially compared to the past couple days, today certainly didn't feel very summery.
Yeah, it seemed more like it earlier in the week, right? When
Yeah.
95 in some spots.
Yeah.
Yeah, cooled down. We actually had a front pass through yesterday evening, Maya, and then we're kind of feeling that today, a little more of a north breeze, and it felt good today. It was, a little cooler, good for sleeping though tonight, coming up. By the way, what are we? We're about almost 2 hours exactly into summer.
Oh.
It's flying along, right?
Yeah.
So I want to show you something here. These are the sunrise and sunset times for tonight. So there they are. We picked several cities around our viewing area. Sault Ste. Marie, the sun goes down at 9:34. The same at Frankfurt tonight. Alpena, you're on the other side of the state, so it's 10 minutes earlier at 9:24 sunset. And we're averaging right now about 15 and a half hours of daylight, of course, today being the peak of that, because now it'll be a slow decline to start, but we're going to start heading the other way. And then this is the first day of winter. This to this, which is, again, 6 months away, just before Christmas, and we're down to 8 hours and 40 minutes of daylight time. By the way, look at Sault Ste. Marie, Alpena. The sun sets before 5 o'clock at that time. Temperatures tonight around at least our neck of the woods, 60s, mid-70s around northern Michigan. It is a little cooler than yesterday. This is the 24-hour temperature change. So, we'll take Traverse City, for instance. It's 21 degrees cooler than it was at this time last night because of that front that passed by. The real warm stuff way down in Illinois, it's 93 at Peoria, Indianapolis, Pittsburgh, Cincinnati, all in the 90s because we have a front right there. This is the front that passed us. See how it's stuck there? Toronto, near Chicago. I point that out for two reasons. That's the front that passed by, bringing in the little bit of cooler weather we have this evening. This front is going to start lifting back north now as we go into the weekend. And what that's going to do is bring in some rain and the chance for some thunderstorms. As we look at our radar currently, just some showers out there, a couple thunderstorms down here. I'll briefly zoom in here. So if you're down there around Reed City, some pretty heavy rain, maybe a little bit of small hail coming down there right now. Otherwise, just some showers. So as we take a look here, overnight, a couple showers and storms down south ending, then some showers tonight. And if you're wondering about tomorrow on Friday, morning showers, and then, certainly won't rain all day. There'll be a lot of dry time in the afternoon, but tomorrow night into Saturday, it looks wet. And I point that out because it's the weekend coming up. There's Friday night, and then look as we get into Saturday afternoon, all of that rain coming in here through Saturday evening. So this is midday, mid-afternoon, I should say, Saturday. Yeah, it's going to be wet. Some thunder under there or with that, and then we'll gradually see those showers winding down as we get into the day on Sunday. So a quick look at the weekend. Pretty wet, rainy day, thunder possible on Saturday, and then Sunday, temperatures in the 70s. And the extended forecast, there it is, Maya. A wet one for the weekend, but Monday looks nice. We'll take that with highs Monday 75 to around 80 degrees.
And if you can't get out this weekend, at least you'll have Monday.
At least you'll have, that's exactly right.
Thank you, Joe. We are going to take one more break here on UpNorthLive Unscripted, but when we come back, find out how you can get some money back in your pocket for making the switch from gas to electric for lawn tools. That story straight ahead. Welcome back, everyone. Another story that we have been working on today is about going green, and oftentimes going energy efficient comes at a higher cost. But a new program rolled out at Traverse City Light and Power is looking to support going green while also keeping a little more green in your wallet. So here is Mark Gillette with that story.
We can offer our customers whatever tool is best for them.
At Ferguson's, they have just about any tool someone might need to tackle just about any job in their yard.
So we offer gas, and now the last 6 years, we've been offering battery-powered tools.
Yep, battery-powered chainsaws, leaf blowers, trimmers, and lawnmowers.
This new generation of battery-powered tools, they've come a long way.
Folks looking to go electric do so for a bunch of reasons. No more mixing gas and oil, to lessen their carbon footprint, and something that kind of came as a surprise to the folks here at Ferguson's.
The noise is so much less. We didn't realize how much that noise impacted us when we were doing a job. It's pleasant to have less noise.
And thanks to a new rebate program just rolled out this spring at Traverse City Light and Power, less noise comes at a lower cost.
We want to be able to kind of help fill that gap that doing the right thing costs more.
Since 2008, TCLP has offered rebates to their customers on various energy-efficient upgrades like HVAC and lighting systems, but this Earth Day they added outdoor yard equipment.
You really go and you do your normal process of purchasing what you want, and then you turn in the receipts with an application to us and you get a check from us.
$200 back on a push electric mower, $500 on a riding one, $50 on an individual lawn tool. You buy it, submit an application to TCLP, they cut you a check.
Very simple. We try to make it as simple as possible.
TCLP says it's about leading the way and helping consumers along the way.
Really trying to get these programs to be successful so we can lead what other utilities might do down the road.
And the folks down at Ferguson say it may open some possibilities for their customers.
I think it's an extraordinary opportunity for people. They're on the fence. Is this something they want to do? I think it's a very generous offer, and for most cases, from what I've seen, when you factor the rebate on, it's a better buy to go battery.
Welcome back, everyone. We're going to take one last look at our question of the day results. Do you think Michigan's minimum wage should be raised to $15 an hour? Right now, 45% of people say yes, 55% say no. If you haven't voted yet, you can scan that QR code on your screen now to vote. And you can also go to our Facebook page, Up North Live. We have a post with a lot of comments on this, so you can go ahead and share your opinions and whatnot on Facebook. And that is all for Up North Live Unscripted. But thank you so much for joining us tonight. And we'll see you back here tomorrow on Up North Live Unscripted and tonight on Up North Live News at 11.